Hey friends, so welcome to part 2 of my 3-part series talking about getting the perfect look, that perfect flawless look out of your foundation, and why, if you're not getting the results you want, it might not be your foundation's fault. Now, yesterday we talked about this beautiful old Victorian farmhouse that we've purchased, and it's just gorgeous, but when you walk into the main living area, it's got horrible walls and you need to do some cosmetic work. So the first thing you're gonna have to do, we talked about yesterday, is strip the ugly, ugly, ugly big cabbage rose wallpaper off of the walls. You can't just start painting walls when they've got that lumpy, bumpy, old, kind of half falling off wallpaper. So we talked about yesterday how you need to exfoliate your skin, get all the dead skin cells off before you start putting anything else on. So we did that yesterday. Now, today we're going to talk about priming your walls, priming your skin. Because if you've ever painted, you know that most hardware experts are going to recommend that you use a primer. Sometimes you can get away without it. Sometimes you can buy that paint that supposedly already has the primer in it. But if you really want to get that perfect look that you've seen in the designer magazines, it's probably best to use a primer on your walls, especially if you're covering over an old color. And in our case, when we peeled off that ugly wallpaper, the walls had been painted underneath the ugliest yellow color that looks like baby poo. And so you're gonna have to cover that up. Well, one coat's not gonna do it, and the color that you wanna use is a very neutral, light gray, whitish kind of gray. And so you know you're gonna need to use a primer first. Same thing with your skin. Now that we got all those dead skin cells off, if you want to get the perfect coverage, you've got to give your foundation something to stick to besides your skin, something that's going to leave the perfect surface. Now, I don't know about you, but my skin is definitely not the perfect surface. I've got dry, patchy areas down here where I've had some skin cancers removed. I've got big pores right in here. I've got all kinds of lumps and bumps, and I've got lots of dark spots. If I want to make sure that those are going to get covered and it's going to be a nice, even, smooth look, I'm going to have to prime my face. Now, I have two choices. I have a hydrating primer and I have the regular primer. I usually use the hydrating primer, but for today I'm going to use the regular just so you can see it a little bit better. And it does not take much at all. I use a tiny, I don't even know if you would call that pea size amount, a very small pea, let's put it that way. I take about that much, dab it between my two middle fingers, and do each side of my face. Now, a lot of ladies say, can I just skip this step? That primer is expensive. Do I really need it? Well, I have ladies coming to me saying, I see these pictures on Facebook and they claim there's no filter and their face just looks airbrushed. I think it's been, photoshopped, or I think they've got a filter on there because their skin just looks so perfect. Well, if they're the ones I've been sharing with you, no, there's no filter. No, there's no photoshopping going on. It's because they're using this primer. They're using a really good primer underneath their foundation. That's one of the secrets that all the models and celebrities know. So there you go. Step 2, make sure your face and your walls are primed and ready for that last step. See you next time for part 3. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.